Hello folks, today we are visiting one of the main hubs of the Luciferian agenda in London. This is the home of the Lucis Trust and ironically is right next door to the United Nations. I'm sure many of you know that the Lucis Trust was originally named the Lucifer Publishing Company, and there was good reason for that. The Lucis Trust was founded by the theosophist Alice Bailey, who wrote a 10-point plan for changing society in the direction of Luciferian principles and to destroy Christian values. As a disciple of Helena Blavatsky, Alice Bailey believed Lucifer to be the light bearer. They teach that Lucifer didn't fall due to sin, but actually made a sacrifice for our benefit in order to liberate us from a tyrannical God. This doctrine is so twisted and evil, as I'm sure you would agree. Now, remember in the book of Genesis, the serpent's deception, how he lured Adam and Eve into the knowledge of good and evil. He said mankind can become as God. This is exactly the same lie that we see being pushed in these theosophical New Age movements. And the reason that we're going in here today is so that you can get a clearer picture of the type of philosophies and doctrines that are indicative of this Luciferian movement. Look at this place. It's very ornate. It's like a 5-star hotel, it's like a palace. And this is where the Lucis Trust are based, next to the United Nations. Now today I'm going to take you into the Lucis Trust library so that you can see what kind of philosophies are being pushed.
Now the Spirit speaketh expressly that in the latter times some shall depart from the faith, giving heed to seducing spirits and doctrines of devils. Doctrines of devils. They shall turn away their ears from the truth, and shall be turned unto fables.
See, even Hinduism here, all these false religions are celebrated in the Theosophical Library. And what does that say to you? That even some churches are promoting practices like yoga. Now there are stacks and stacks of books here by both Alice Bailey and her husband, Foster Bailey.
Warning, Alice Bailey, Lucifer Publishing. Warning, Helena Blavatsky, Theosophical Society.
Giving heed to seducing spirits and doctrines of devils. Giving heed to seducing spirits and doctrines of devils.
Look here, they've even got books on the Jesuits.
For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty through God to the pulling down of strongholds, casting down imaginations and every high thing that exalteth itself against the knowledge of God, and bringing into captivity every thought to the obedience of Christ.
In these last days that we're living in today, and I believe that they are before Jesus returns, Satan is pulling out all the stops and is working overtime in a futile effort to defeat God. You see, Satanists believe and teach that Satan was wrongfully ejected from heaven. It's a lie, of course, because, as Michael said, he was rightfully ejected from heaven because of rebellion and pride. But everything's twisted, you see, and distorted and backwards. And Satan, they say, was wrongfully ejected. And they say that Satan had a part in creating the world of God. And he was wrongfully ejected from heaven. And one day he'll regain his rightful place. So the more evil that's done, and the more evil that's condoned upon the earth, the quicker Satan will rule, they say. But we know the truth that one day Satan will be thrown into the lake of fire for all time and destroyed with all the demons with him. And I'd like to say this today, that the devil is very busy and is educating people. And is educating them very well indeed, because these are the last days. But we can look up, can't we, because our redemption draweth nigh.
Yes, we can.
And it says here in 1 Timothy chapter 4, now the Spirit speaketh expressly that in the latter times some shall depart from the faith, giving heed to seducing spirits and doctrines of devils. And that's what's going on today. And Jesus said that in the last days wickedness will wax worse. And we don't have to look far, do we, to see that this is true.
We can't underestimate the power of the devil, nor do we want to glorify him here today.
No.
They're teaching these things in some of the schools. Right. They are actually teaching the occult.
Yes.
They're teaching things like meditation. TM, you open up and call on the name of what they call a mantra, and the people who know some of the occult religions know that that's the name of one of those gods. And of course, those gods are real beings. They are these fallen spirits who are impersonating a god, who wanted to be God in the first place. They wanted to take their leader, Satan, and push him above God. And they wanted that worship, they wanted that authority without having to obey God. And so now they try to draw people to worship themselves. And those names, those mantras are actual evil spirits. And people open them up to devil possession.